Hello, and thanks for joining us on this HOA leader video chat with two of our experts. My name is Gabriella Falisco. Today, I'm joined by Matthew Herron of Michigan and David Swedelson of California. And this month, we're discussing politics. So, with the election season in full swing, what role should politics play in your association? And this topic comes up because a South Carolina community association is working through this issue right now. It's big, it's long hosted candidates running for office, including presidential candidates, but it recently changed its rules and says no more political gatherings hosting politicians. And some residents are claiming that's a violation of free speech. And another resident says the board is violating members' civil rights and their right of assembly. So in this video, these two expert HOA lawyers will discuss whether condo and HOA boards have to comply with the U.S. Constitution's First Amendment right to free speech and assembly. And then in the second video, Matt and David will discuss how to keep the divisiveness of today's politics from damaging the community feel the best boards try so hard to create. So just a note, these experts are providing insights based on the laws and practices in their state, and this video is intended to provide you with general guidance you can use when you approach a lawyer in your state. So with that in mind, Matt, tell us in general, do condos and HOA boards have to comply with the U.S. Constitution's provisions for free speech and assembly?
Well, the general answer to that's going to be that those protections don't ordinarily apply to homeowner associations and condominium associations in Michigan. Under both the Michigan State Constitution and the U.S. Constitution, the First Amendment protections are going to apply to instances of state action, state conduct. And at least in Michigan and most other states that follow the analysis under the U.S. Constitution for Michigan, the actions of a private entity, such as a private homeowners association or private condo association, is not usually going to rise to the level of state action. And because it's not state action, those protections won't apply. That doesn't necessarily mean that the governing documents of the community will permit certain action, but at least viewed through the lens of whether the First Amendment requires that to be permitted or certain conduct to take place, it generally won't apply. The only one of the potential exceptions, and this is, some states have something like this. Michigan has entities called summer resort associations, which are older entities that go back over 100 years that actually have the right to exercise police power. And so it's possible that that type of entity with that type of delegated authority could be construed to be a state actor in certain instances. But the ordinary principle for most community associations in Michigan is going to be no, the First Amendment would not apply.
So David, I understand that's not the case in California.
It's not, Gabriella. In California, interesting, even if we didn't have a statute, which I'll talk about in a minute, state case law in California has held that associations are quasi-governmental bodies, agencies. And so I think they're gonna be considered the mini governments. But we don't have to even get there, because in California, since 2018, we have a statute that says that associations cannot preclude owners from using the common area, clubhouse, to host meetings, inviting people outside the association to come to talk about matters of public interest. And public interest isn't defined, so it could be pretty broad. It could include religious issues if there was a matter of public interest. I've not seen this come up as an issue. I've not seen it done, but it was an issue for somebody who brought it to the legislator who made law out of this. It even goes further, because at most associations, if you want to use the clubhouse, you got to rent it. Maybe you got to pay a deposit, maybe provide insurance information. Cannot charge homeowners for using the clubhouse for political thing. If it matter of public interest, they get to use it. They don't get charged for it. No insurance, nothing.
Very interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay, great. So thank you, Matt and David, for your quick takes on the topic. Listeners, thanks for joining us, and we hope you'll join us again next month.